Good morning. This is the second part of the micronaut beer solution video. I've been working on some scripts to automate the process of getting the micronaut applications to run through Kubernetes. And there are two scripts added to the application which update various different YAML files inside this application, which reminds me of something. Anyhow, still haven't got it to work perfectly, but I have got it to initialize and show something. So I'm going to run through these two scripts as I start it. So at the moment, it's literally broken, and I'm going to run a minikube delete. Basically, it's really not in a good way because I've started to do the installation and I kind of quit it. But the script will do all of this for you. So what I want to do is I'm going to start it over here. Maybe give it. Sorry, I've got some housework going on as well, so there might be a noise. So we're going to launch the script, which this is based on Ubuntu machine, and it will install various different things: Docker, Kubernetes, minikube, and it will go off through the things. But I wanted to show you what it's actually doing. So these are the steps that you'd manually do, and I've sort of put it all into a script to do it. So install minikube. First of all, you have to, when I properly release it, this is going to be blank, and you need to set this. You also need to go to hub.docker.com, register, and then do Docker login on your local machine, which will generate some files on your system. That might have to be a sudo actually. Where's that file? Segmentation fault. Okay. Sometimes I think it's because I've been sort of clearing it out and messing around. So let's just try it again. Okay, back to the script. It checks to see if this file exists. If it doesn't, it returns an error. It takes the current path and it makes sure this variable here has been set. If not, it complains. It runs clean minikube, which does this. Then it installs VirtualBox, Kubernetes, which is here, and apt transport HTTPS. I'm not sure whether these two are really needed, but obviously you need Docker. It gets hold of Debian's minikube, or sorry, it gets hold of minikube script. It's a shell script, I think, and it moves it into user local bin. Then it starts minikube. So I think we're minikube added, back to started. So this is where we are, and it's just starting it. Then it gets Kubernetes from the Debian sources and installs kubectl. You can get this from live online, and I think if you go to, basically that script's been designed from wiki minikube, and then here I think this is the manual steps, and you'll be able to get kubectl an alternative way through here somewhere. I think if you look up, yeah, go to the top of it. So this is the alternative way of doing kubectl, but I'm using the Debian packages to do it in this case. Cluster info, this is part of the this application, this kubectl does a cluster. Config view just shows you config. Get nodes just shows you the nodes. This is just a demonstration. Minikube SSH just shows you a prompt. So at the moment it's still doing that minikube start, so it's still here over here. Then it does the add-ons and it shows you what it's got, and it enables ingress, which is an inbuilt HTTP. Then sets the virtual machine name to be minikube. Installs Helm from here. Initializes it and has to wait because it's to do with Tiller, something to do with Tiller with Helm, and if you wait then it works fine. Then it gets console Helm, it edits the file and sets the values from 3 to 1. This is what Mauricio had put in his documentation, so it's been automated. Installs console Helm over here, and the reason why all of this is here is because I had problems with the Tiller, and it's fixed now. It gets the pods again, it finds the console host, it forwards the port of console to 8500 locally, gets or runs Docker Zipkin, generates a YAML file for Zipkin, and applies it, exposes that port on 9411. Gradle WAssemble, this is in the current application, this project that I've uploaded. It runs this initially for the very first time. I don't think you need to do it every time. This is for the very first time I had to do it. Then it has another script that I've added called install app, which it then runs install app beer billing, and Docker username, which is right at the top, my Docker login, which is right at the top there. So it does billing. So this is the folder name, this is the app name, this is the short name of it, and that's the username. Folder name, app name, short name, folder name, beer stock, folder name, app name, short name, username. Front, same thing. And then for the front end React, which is the 3000 one, it does, this is the path to it. It's slightly different to those. That's the name of the app, that's the short name, that's the username, then that's the amount of instances we're going to run, because by default it does it to 1. So that's the minikube SSH, that bit there. And then port 3000, which is basically, because internally this goes off and tries to find the ports from the properties files or the configuration files of your Grails application or your micronaut application. Whereas this, we don't have a file, so it sends it physically as the port. Then it port forwards React, the React application to port 3000, and I think the problem I'm having is this port 8080 application, the front end application. I think this is where it's all going wrong for me at the moment. So that's the entire script that does everything, and then the install app increments the current version, so it gets the current version from Docker images, updates it to 1.2, whatever. It gets the port if the port wasn't defined, like in the 3000 case, and dynamically works out what that port is. If no replica is defined, it sets it to 1, goes into the application folder, does a Docker build -t, Docker tag, and then the app in the latest version, pushes it with the latest version, overwrites that YAML file, puts the name, short name, app name, and the latest version, so it's always updating, and it always defines the port as whatever the dynamic was or whatever was defined, applies the file, exposes the port, and that's the entire process that's been discussed by Mauricio to do an application, and it's been automated as such. So you can see it over here, it's still working away. So that was the scripts ran through, the process that you'd manually go through to do all of this. And if you wait for my script, my lovely little script, you will find we will have something running soon. At the moment, if we go to 3000, we have nothing. If we wait, hopefully, if it has worked, which it hasn't, that last bit seems to fall over, so I think that part is a problem still. So, right, it's in the minikube script, the last bit that does the ports, so there might have to be a longer sleep. I don't know at this point, and I have to go run through this really painful process to get to that final bit. So it's worked this time. You can see it's done the 3080. If we go to this here, we have nothing. Brilliant. Not what I wanted. What did the React one say? Did do it though. There's no React names there. Let's just run this. So all it does is it does a kubectl get pods, and there's React container creating. Oh. Yeah. So if you do kubectl logs and then the pod name, should get something back. And what the problem is. Waiter is what? Sorry? Container waiter pod. Yeah. We might have to restart minikube for it to pick them up. Okay, error with waiter. Might be taking time. Logs. Oh, am I not running console? So if we do kubectl get svc, which is services, we can see when we've got to pull forward and happening, which we can't see over here. So part of the script that was supposed to have maybe over here, get rid of the running because it will start after some point. In our case, maybe never. Okay, so something's obviously gone wrong with this, and what I want to do is I'm going to try and look through the logs again over here. Sleeping a bit, port forward, right. Maybe sleeping. Get rid of this running as well. No, that's the problem again. think so. Anyway, we'll see. I'm going to relaunch the script because obviously something's gone wrong and it's not started up, and that's not what we want it to do. So at the moment it's still down. So should I start the video again? I wonder. It's just going to take a while. So here we go. Wait and see. I did have it working a while ago, but I took it all down to test it again and it broke. It's not perfect, but it kind of works. And every time it does that install app, if you watch, for example, tel minus 5, sorry, minus 1. No. Oh dear. Why don't we just do grep image? That's better. So what will happen is every time that install app script is run, it rebuilds each application and their version numbers should go up to 1.7, 1.6, 1.15, 1.4 and 1.10. So we'll wait and see, but at the moment it's doing downloading minikube. So this is the start of minikube. It takes quite a while to start it, and even when you've initialized it by running install minikube, after that point, the only thing you would need to do on this machine would be to do minikube start, and that would go back into the state that this is going to go into. And finally, what you'd probably do is on your local machine, because the reason why we're doing all this port forwarding at the bottom is because I'm not able to access the IP of my virtual machine on my browser. So I'm port forwarding from the VirtualBox to my local machine, and that's the localhost 3000. So when you've done the installation and everything's worked, on the next boot up, all you would literally do is run minikube start and then do this last bit here, which basically starts the front application and the React application. But as I say, I think this part is having a problem, or it didn't work for me. And last week I was up to this same issue, and I thought the real reason over the weekend, I thought the real reason was this, because this wasn't forwarded into localhost 8080, which is where this is trying to send the traffic to. I think if you updated the application, the React application, to not point to localhost 8080, which was in the config.js or whatever, and made it point to the IP of the virtual box, which is the 10 grep image style.yaml. You can see billing 10 front 4 React is 14 still, stock 6, waiter 7. Oh, that's because React was still going on. Or was it? Yeah, something's wrong with the React one. Has the React been applied? I think it has. So we do kube CTL get plugs. Still creating. Get SVC. Don't have any of our port forwardings or exposure stuff going on. Oh no, there's the Zipkin one, but none of the applications have been exposed. So it's the same running problem, isn't it? Because they're still running, they're still trying to create them or get started up, and it's looking for running and it's not up yet, so that's why it's not exposed them. If we think that's just been cut off, so we have been disconnected from the internet. There we go. Right, so if we now repeat for and then we do waiter, and yeah, 3000. So if we now do kubectl get svc, that is what we've just done. Those commands that we've just run, or the expose app script that I've just added, simply enables or port forwards them internally within the application, and you can see them in the services. So shall we give it a go, see what happens? Still nothing. And that is because the script failed when it did the installation of the last bit, as I've just explained, which is this thing here of the bias. What do we have? There we go. There's our beer shop. How about that? But as I say, the problem I'm having at the moment is I don't think the traffic's getting through from the 3000 into the 8080 application. But at the moment, this whole application is running from Kubernetes. And that's our pods, stop deployment, React, and all the rest of it. Let's do a waiter question. I shouldn't be doing that. And sometimes you have to minikube stop start to fix some of these problems, but we want to have a look at the logs. Oh. Let's start. Do we have more install forward? Do we have that? I think that was what was again missing. There might be shouldn't happen. Anyhow, I think that wraps up the video. I'm not further than this anyway. Whatever will have happened, it's not going to be any better than it is. I'm going to do some more tests and see if I can get it to work. But at this point, this kind of wraps up the whole automatic process for how to get minikube to work with your micronaut application, and how to deploy your micronaut applications into a Kubernetes cluster, which is basically a virtual machine that runs off of your machine, and then you install your apps into it. The install app script will help you deploy the latest changes into it, and it should replace the image with, so if we do install app, so we do billing, more, look at the script and follow the script, because all the work's been done there. So which one was breaking? Billing. Let's do billing. Oh, 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 oh. Expand it. Do it twice. So if we look at the pods now, you can see the name of it is here, billing 56F5D. So just remember that. I'm offline at the moment, guys. That's why. So yes, but that's what you would do, and it would literally replace this image. I can't really continue this video anymore because I've got too many problems at this end. So thank you very much. Bye bye.